Right, I'm back with our life. I think we're on video 3 or 4. So the kids are off to go and catch fireflies. That's where I paused, so I'll just continue reading. The two of you were a good 10 or 15 feet behind Lizzie and Shyla by the time you walked outside. You pushed the door shut behind you, watching their figures get further and further away.
Hurry up!
You're so slow, Sheila. We don't have all night. You started to run when you heard Lizzie's voice calling you, but paused when you saw Cove still walking at a relaxed pace. Alright, got to choose one of these options. So are you not going to come? You tugged him along. You walked with him. You waved at him to hurry. You ran off. I'm going to ask him, are you not going to come?
No.
No. Oh, he's not coming. You weren't sure if that no meant he won't come, or if it was no, he won't not come, but you were too eager to figure it out or walk as slow as Cove was. With a shrug, you ran to catch up with the others. When you arrived at the hill, Lizzie and Shyla were standing on top of the hill. The fireflies were also already there. A grin nearly broke your face in delight at the bright, winking lights, bobbing around like buoys on a wave in the delicate moonlight. Where's Cove? He's coming. You pointed behind. Sure enough, after a second, Cove rounded the corner, still not in any sort of rush. Wow. Shyla took a moment to come over and welcome the both of you to the hill. Hi guys, it's really great out here, huh? See how many there are? Yeah. A firefly danced through the air, landing on Cove's sea green head. Shyla couldn't help but giggle. You and Shyla couldn't help but giggle. You quietly looked on. You shooed the bug away. I'm going to put Shyla couldn't help but giggle. You had to admit it, it was a pretty funny sight, especially when Cove didn't know it was there. What? You gestured to his head and he reached up, making the firefly dart away. Cove jumped, then followed after the glow. Oh look, Lizzie has one. That's amazing. Shyla ran to the highest point of the hill, making sure not to lose his hat or backpack along the way. You hummed as the group divided and conquered, shifting your gaze to the dozens of other fireflies sailing around. The game was on. Right, you had a bandage on your thumb and you tried to be cautious of that. You had a bandage on your palm and you tried to be cautious of that. You had a bandage, you were good at not getting cuts or scratches, so you're not too worried about that. I choose that one. Spotting one close by, you approached it with assassin-like stealth, crouching down to make yourself seem like less of a threat. Slowly dragging one foot in front of the other, you crept up towards it, arms outstretched. You closed your hands around the little glowing orb, careful not to crush it. The firefly landed on your palm, almost docile, and you stared down at your prize in delight. Its tiny legs tickled your skin, and you giggled at the sensation. Cove kept up with his own target, but when he tried to grab it, his pink cast waved awkwardly through the air, foiling his efforts to clap his hands around the firefly. Ah! Cove watched it vanish into thin air with a dissatisfied expression on his face. You encouraged him to try again. You told him about the firefly you had. You made a joke about what happened. You did your own things. I'm going to encourage him to try again. There are plenty more fireflies. You can try again. Cove didn't say anything, and you thought he must be upset. He walked further up the hill to continue his hunt, and you let your own firefly flutter back into the air. That was fine. You had your own plans. You decided to collect more. You decided to sit in the grass and watch. I think I'm going to sit and watch. You quietly took a seat among the flowers. The others were jumping and dashing all about. You saw how many times they succeeded and failed, how Shyla almost tripped a couple of times. It was a dramatic show, though around you it was calm. The lights of the stars and the fireflies surrounded you peacefully. It was a beautiful night. You laughed quietly to yourself as you watched the others, and Shyla finally managed to catch a firefly between his small hands. His eyes lit up, and when he spread his fingers to take a peek at it, the bug escaped and flew off into the air. Oh! You watched as he pounced after it once more, but your eyes soon landed on Cove, who had failed to catch a firefly yet. You cheered him on, you scared him. You waited to see what happened. I'm just going to wait and see. You watched as he crept up on an unsuspecting bug, so slowly that for a moment you wondered if he was still moving at all. I'm going to end that now, guys. Thank you for watching.